I'm Victoria Nash. I'm the founder of Vicente, a fabulous skincare line. I'm over 50, grandmother of 10. People told me that I could not succeed and that I could not do what I wanted to do. The big idea just came to me, and I just thought I have to do something else with my life. In a very short period of time, I have expanded my products to all over the world. People will tell you that you cannot succeed. That's just not the way it has to be.
Let me get something right. Over 50, 10 grandchildren?
That's right.
Wow. Wow. We'll get to that.
50 can be fabulous.
50, I just turned 50. You're a lot more fabulous than I am, though. But I mean, good for you. You look amazing.
Thank you. And I'm very happy to be here.
Well, we're thrilled to have you because your story is a fantastic one. You're living your dream now.
I sure am.
Vicente, this amazing multi-million-dollar skincare line, but everything was stacked against you. I mean, you don't belong here. What was your life like as a kid?
It was very abusive. We were abused and neglected as a family. We had, from the time I was a small child, I was always living in fear. I watched some really traumatic things happen in my life. I watched my sister almost being drowned.
What happened?
By my father.
What do you mean
my father was alcoholic and very abusive, and he just didn't know how. They didn't want children. And they had children which they should not have had. So they had 5 under the age of 4, and it was a very traumatic childhood for us, for all of us.
You said you watched your father almost drown your sister.
Yes. He would just get angry for no reason, and I can remember just watching her. He had hit her, so her nose was bleeding, and for a long time I remembered seeing her in this water and seeing the blood, and it was frightening, and it really affects how you feel about yourself. You feel like you have a very low self-esteem. He also was very emotionally abusive. He would tell me that I was ugly. He would say that I was stupid. So for a long time, I always felt like, who would want me? You know, I'm ugly and unattractive because of what I had been told. And if that's what you're told your whole life, you're going to believe that.
Of course. And at age 16, you found yourself with your father's hands wrapped around your neck.
He tried to kill me, and I knew I had to leave. So I packed up my bag. I took a little brown paper bag. I put my clothes in there. I took my school books, and I left with my little dog. I had a little dog named Danny, and she was my family that I left with.
And you eventually get married?
I got married, and of course, like most people, when they are in circumstances like that, they end up getting married at a young age. I met my husband at 17. I had 4 children by the time I was 23. In between that time, my father committed suicide. My mother died of cancer. It was just an extremely traumatic young adulthood. I really never had a young adulthood because I had children from the time I was a young adulthood.
You didn't have a young adulthood?
I didn't have a childhood. I did not have a young adulthood. And it was only after I became older and I decided I really wanted change. I wanted to have a fresh life. I wanted to travel and explore the world. And I wanted more out of life. And I just wasn't accomplishing that in the small town that I was living in.
So you had a little secret voice, a little secret identity inside of you saying, you know what, even though I was told I was ugly, I was told I wasn't going to do anything, and this and that, and all of a sudden at 23, 4 kids, and I have a marriage, there was another voice saying, no, there's another life out there for me.
There
is.
Another
identity.
Exactly.
So how'd you find it?
Well, I moved on, which was very difficult, and I know that's...
Meaning you left your husband?
Yes, I did. I left my husband, and I was right around 40 at that time. And I met a few people that were very inspirational in helping me. And they were very entrepreneurial, just like you and just like myself. And this one particular person, he was from Boston, and he just looked at me and he said, you know what, you're just as good as the next person.
Better.
You're beautiful. You can do whatever you set your mind to. And he helped me to focus. And I did. And good things happen if you really put your mind to it.
And that secret identity was as a skincare mogul. How'd you get the business?
It was. Well, I went back to school. My husband, I remarried, by the way, and I met a fabulous man. I met him in Las Vegas, actually, and we were engaged in 13 days.
Love that. What happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. Okay, right.
And he encouraged me. He's from United Kingdom, and when he came over here, he's also entrepreneurial, and he said, there's no place like America where you can just do anything. You can accomplish anything you want in the United States. You can. And so
sometimes we forget that in this country. It takes people from other countries
exactly.
who don't have, obviously the UK is not another universe, but people come here, we take for granted, yes, anybody can do anything, and that's not the way of most of them.
We have opportunities that other countries don't have, and we just need to take advantage of it. And we can't look back at our past. We can't blame other people for things that have happened to us and say, you know, make excuses. We can't make excuses. We have to do things by ourselves and overcome them.
But you had no experience. How'd you get this thing going?
Well, I went back to school because obviously you need to have a lot of education to be able to produce the line. I went back to school, I opened up a skincare studio, and I realized we're lacking products that are results driven. And my products are results driven, obviously. But what I did was first of all, I want to just recap a little bit and say that I named the line Ascente, which means new beginning. What a wonderful name. So with my products, I made sure that I incorporated ingredients and formulas that are not available in other skincare companies. And I made them to be very synergistic in their nature so that they all work simultaneously together.
It's great stuff. So what do we say to people out there who have one identity? Your case, your identity was somebody who was abused, somebody who had no shot, but there's another identity wanting to come out, wanting to scream out. How do we get them to get in touch with that secret life, that other life that they really want?
First of all, you have to just find in your inner self, you have to write your goals down. Write down your goals and follow through with them. You need to work extremely hard. That's the number one thing. You can't just expect it to come to you.
Right.
You have to work hard. Surround yourself around positive people. If you have a negative person around you, don't hang out with them. And you just need to always be looking toward the future. Don't look back at the past. Always look toward the future.
Victoria Nash, founder, Ascente Skincare.
Thank you so much.
More big ideas for you.